Hi, this instructional video is about finding the volume of a pyramid. Pyramid. What is a pyramid? Let me give you a quick illustration of what a pyramid is. For example, remember when we talked about a prism? Well, a pyramid is basically if you had a center where the two lines intersect each other on the top, and if you were to draw a line from here, the top center, to each of the vertices of that prism, what you're left with inside is a pyramid. See that right there? That's a pyramid. And it turns out what is wasted from the block of the prism is 2/3. And the actual volume of the pyramid remaining is just 1/3 of the entire volume of the prism. So remember what the formula for the volume of a prism was? The volume was the b times height, the base being the length times the width, and then the height. Well, the volume for the pyramid is just 1/3 of that. So it's 1/3 capital B times height. And it turns out this formula, volume equals 1/3 B times height, applies to any polygon base. So if you had something like a pentagon as the base, and if they all come to one point and the sides form into a triangular shape, it is still 1/3 capital B times height, assuming you know what the base of that pentagon is. Its pyramid will be just 1/3 of that times the height. So keeping that in mind, that was a little lengthy. Let me demonstrate number 1 on how to find the volume, and you could try numbers 2 and 3. So number 1, the volume is 1/3 times base times the height. So the volume is 1/3. The base of this rectangular pyramid is length times width. That's the base. Times the height given. So let's go ahead and fill in the numbers with the known variables. So it's 1/3 times the length is 6. The width is 4 feet. And the height is given as 5 feet. So we go 1/3 times 6 times 4 is 24. And let's see. And 24 times that height of 5 feet is 120. So that's 120. And feet times feet times feet is feet cubed. Remember, volumes are measured in cubes. And when we say take 1/3 of that, it just means divide 120 divided by 3, the denominator. And so the actual volume of that pyramid is 40 feet cubed. That's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Now why don't you try these two pyramids? Find the volume. Okay, so same thing. The volume is equal to 1/3 times B times the H, base times the height. And that equals to 1/3 times the B. The base is again quadrilateral, a rectangle. So it's length times width. So let's go ahead and put in the numbers since we know it. The length is 4 millimeters times the width is 3 millimeters, and this is just the base, times the height, which is given in a perpendicular form, 12 millimeters. So that becomes 1/3 times 4 times 3 is 12. And I know this, 12 times 12 is 144. And millimeter, millimeter, millimeter is millimeter cubed. So now we just take 144 and divide that by 3, the denominator. That becomes 48. So the answer here becomes 48 millimeter cubed. And that's the total volume. And number 3? Okay, so number 3 is kind of straightforward, isn't it? So here's what we got. On number 3, it is, let's see, once again, the volume is 1/3 times b times the height. And therefore, it's 1/3 times, well, the b on this one is also rectangular as well. And so it's length times width. So let's write that down. It is 15 yards times the width is 10 yards. And the height is given as 12 yards. Can we see that? Whoop, it went a little bit off the camera. There we go. That's better. All right, so now we're going to calculate. So 15 times 10 times 12. Let's use a calculator. So it's going to be 15 times 10 times 12, and that equals 1,800. So that's 1/3 times 1,800. Yards is yards cubed. And now we're going to divide that by 3, the denominator. So, oops, I just erased it. 1,800 divided by 3. So the total volume of this pyramid is going to be 600 yards cubed. And there we have it. What do you think? You think you could do some little extra? What do you...